Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mental House. I am your host, Khadijah. Listen, they're not paying me to do the commercial, so I'm not going to stay on here too long. No, really. You know what? For those of us seasoned people out here that, don't are tired or take probiotics and don't want to, take them in pill form, let me tell you something. Something that got results for me and makes my belly feel so much better. Because as y'all know, I've been having some digestive problems. Probiotic juices from Whole Foods. These are um, what they call Good Belly Plus shots, like a shot. Or it also come in quarts now, and that's just not the plus, but this has an extra enhancer, I guess, of vitamin D and C. This is mango flavor, and they come in a few flavors. But if you guys never gave these little shots on the run, oh, and just do it and give it a shot and give it a try and tell me how it makes you feel. Cause I've definitely seen the difference. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. You know, this right here is real serious. First of all, I want to encourage each and every one of y'all to keep sending your messages to either my inbox or send it to dj.amwar@yahoo.com, dj.amwar@yahoo.com, or go to Facebook and you know let's get this cracking, because some of the stuff y'all send me is straight. I'm glad we talking about it, because one thing about narcissistic behavior, and I know that word, or I'm just gonna say high conflict individuals or people that got personality disorders, whatever, crazy people. Um, the inappropriate sexual behavior, it go hand in hand. It just goes hand in hand. So these two men, young men, and I'm definitely not going to read the emails, but I'm going to suffice them both to say these are two young men who are asking me, have I heard of, or could I do a video on inappropriate sleeping, women sleeping with their young sons and seeming like they're trying to make their sons their man, and the men feeling like they're in competition with her young son. Let me say this for the young lions, and for, in my opinion, okay, shout out first of all to the 5150 Nation. You can't be afraid. You might step on some toes, but in my opinion, I gotta say, I'm at the age now. I gotta say what I know so far, right? Okay. So as you get on the planet now, half a century, you have the obligation to say what I know so far. And this what I know with this. Both of those relationships, one of the gentlemen said that he snapped. He wished he could have handled it different, but right then and there, I guess they had consummated their relationship, and he had been seeing this woman for a few months, and this was the first time they had consummated their relationship over to her apartment, and it was during the school hours. So the young son is usually in school, but I guess he came home early this particular day, and he said he was in the man involved said he was in a dining room watching television, and the young kid took off his book bag, jacket, and everything, and asked where his mom was, and he told her. He told him, and the young guy went and laid in the bed and took a nap with his mother. The young boy is 10 years old. So he said, do I think he handled it the right way? He wished he would have handled it different, because it ended up being a cursing match between the mother and the son. I mean, the mother and the son against him. And he just said he couldn't believe it. I'm laughing, but not. Please forgive me, because it's not funny at all. The second guy said he hasn't said anything yet. He hasn't talked to her, yet, pretty much. But this is a young guy who went out with some woman, and they've been seeing each other. And they came in, and the young man was asleep in her bed, and she woke him up, and got him out of her bed and told him to go get in her own bed. The sad part about it is one young man is 10 and the other young man is 14. Now, I know a situation where a mother said that she has to wash her sheets because she allowed her young son to go and sleep in her bed, and he must have been playing with himself and yada yada yada. These are all red flags. Total red flags that the person has been sexually assaulted, sexually abused. You're gonna have this is very inappropriate sexual behavior. There are no healthy boundaries here, and for the gentleman who said that he likes her, he just hasn't said anything yet. He hasn't talked to her yet. She's been calling. If you don't know how to deal with it, you just should get her some literature. Find the data. Put it in a flyer, put it in the emails, put it in her mailbox, and maybe that'll open up the dialogue. But know that when you do, you're going to have to be willing to deal with what comes on the other side of that conversation. The other gentleman took a different road, and so that's over. I don't need to address it. I just don't think you were wrong at all. And you made a comment that she doesn't love her son. Like you felt when you were arguing with the two of them, you felt that she didn't love her son like a mother loves her son. She was in love with him. Well, let me tell you something. There is no stronger bond. But even when it's appropriate, but when it's inappropriate, I can imagine. And you're lucky you got out of there with your life. So my point is, if there's any women out there that think that this is okay, and you got your son sleeping in the bed with you, and you're addressing your son up vicariously, like the way you would want your man to look and all this, and that is totally inappropriate. You are setting up some real detrimental mental boundaries that's going to keep that child in the real mental house. And one thing about this narcissistic behavior is a lot of it involves women thinking it's okay to sleep, let their young son sleep with them. Now, I can see 2 generations removed the mindset, because most of the people that grew up in my generation, even my friends, it was totally reversed than it is now. Matter of fact, you saw more 2-parent households than you saw single mothers. Okay? Now, I didn't grow up in the projects. Okay? So I can't try to play like I'm, all this, but I had cousins that lived in the project. And even them, they had 2 parents. So it was a different generation. Now, somehow the male energy in that family would not have allowed that to get out of hand that way. I never seen my brothers doing anything like that to my mother. I never seen any behavior like that with my mother and when my father was alive. I mean, father was involved. You get what I'm saying? So, and yet I can see how my mother did things different after my father left. After they were divorced. After 20-something years of marriage. When they divorced, and I was adult, and my mother adopted children after he left, I could definitely see his influence on these children, the masculine energy, and I could see the void in the individuals. Okay? So, if you got some women mean, women, I know we're doing this inappropriate stuff. We have to knock this off. We have to get to the heart of the matter, because you're gonna have to deal with the fact that you are not healthy. And once you start dealing, this is the hard work. This is the real work. It's to start with the person in the mirror and fix that person before you can try to do anything. You got to stay right here. And there are a lot of young women who are single, who don't have a father, they have a father, they don't have a role model. They wasn't even raised by a strong, conscious mother. So some of them don't know inappropriate sexual behavior. Some of them don't know that it's unhealthy to let your son sleep in the bed with you. So we're going to have to do a better job of teaching, a better job of showing, a better job of calling out this inappropriate behavior, because it's leading to a lot of savagery, and it transcends color. It transcends. It's just narcissistic, crazy, inappropriate sexual conduct, and it has no place in a healthy person's life. So if you got a woman who think it's okay to sleep with her father, with her a son, and let him sleep in her bed and take naps and have wet dreams and stuff in her bed, and vice versa, that's totally inappropriate sexual inappropriate behavior, if it's not flat out incestuous. Okay. And we got to nip this stuff in the bud. And remember, that's a lot of narcissistic behavior is directly tied to this inappropriate behavior, inappropriate sexual conduct. Directly tied. Okay? Alright. Give me y'all opinion, please. Because a lot of us know what it's like to be in, to just have something like that happen. There's a you know what? I'm gonna save it. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the mental house. Bye bye.